Saturday, April 11th. Clean sweep yesterday. Here it is. Started off with Pirates, first 5, pushed, but then we ended up taking the full game, and they won outright. Then we had Rays, first 5, biggest play of the day for me. Red Sox, Cardinals under, Rangers plus 1.5, as sweaty could get, and then Thunder, Nuggets over, again, very, very sweaty. They're not all going to be clean, but it doesn't matter. It hits the bank account the same way. Today, a lot of games, a lot of baseball going on today. Here's the regression report. It's always the first thing I look at. First thing in the morning when it comes to baseball, I look at the regression report. I'm looking for perfect storms. I've talked about it before. Perfect storms is where a pitcher is due to regress in one direction, and the team that they're pitching against is due to regress in the other direction. So a pitcher has been pitching not great on the books, but we expect them to get better. And then the opponent is hitting really well, but the numbers are deceiving. They're not really getting good contact quality. They're just getting lucky. They're in hitter-friendly ballparks, whatever it may be. So that's what the perfect storm is looking at. Now, the perfect storm also looks at totals. So what we could be seeing is a pitcher who we expect to have a really good game, and then a team, a hitting team, a batting team that we're expecting to not really hit that well that game. And in that case, we would probably look for less runs, not too many runs. That's what we're looking at in the Rockies, Padres. Germán Marquez, I don't know. I said in a different video that I would fade him every game that he starts this year. I trust numbers more than my own heart, so I guess I'm not going to fade him. But I am going to say that he's going to have a decent game and he's not going to give up too many runs. So it even says here, the takeaway, despite Marquez's struggles, our model predicts a low-scoring game aligned with the Rockies' potential offensive cooldown. One of our guys in the Discord has a theory, and I feel like it's right. Not only is he knowledgeable in baseball, but it just sounds right. There's a hangover when it comes to leaving Coors Field. Rockies play in Coors Field in a series. They leave and they go to wherever, and there's like this scoring hangover. Now, we did have the over in their first series game with the Padres, and that was all luck. That was not skill or great signal. It was all luck. There was a grand slam walk-off that got the over, but it shouldn't have been. It was 1-1 majority of the game, 0-0 for a good part of it. That was all luck. So, but again, we won and I'll take it, but it's not because that wasn't a good read on my part. I'll be honest about that. Key pitcher regression candidates. We got them all here. I'm not a huge fan of this Max Fried one, but again, I trust numbers more. His xFIP is still lower. It's higher than his ERA, so his ERA is a little misleading, but he's still an incredible pitcher. So I might stay away from something like that. You have to look deeper into the numbers. This just gives you a composite summary. Hey, here's what the numbers are. Take it how you will. Here's our suggestions. And our mean the AI that we built. Batting regression, all here. Bullpen fatigue as well. Yesterday's recap. We took the Pirates money line. That was one of the suggested picks. It went 4-4 yesterday, but as far as units earned, which is something I want to add on here, it is a winning day just because of the juice that we got on some of these. We ended up taking the Rangers plus 1.5 just because it was minus 105. Great value there. I almost took them on the money line. I was like, let's not get too risky. I'm just gonna take them on the run line. White Sox, we had them 2 days ago. I wasn't a big fan of taking the underdog twice in a series back to back. Not that it doesn't happen. That wasn't a play that I picked. But yeah, still good results from the regression report. There's 8 picks today. Here's the model accuracy dashboard. And again, I need to put ROI on here. I need to put units earned because that's a huge deal, especially in baseball. With all the underdogs that the model's been picking and getting correct, 53.8% across the board is profitable. in any standard. But when you have that many underdogs that you're winning, that 53.8% could actually be, depending on how many plays there are, it could be a ton of units earned. So that's something I'm going to add on here. Totals are still doing really well. I'm ecstatic about that. So far, this is the best over-under model that I've seen in recent years. Granted, we're still early in the season, okay? It could regress back to, 53, 54%. But I'm telling you guys right now, if this stays above 57% for in the middle of the season, I'm taking it off. I'm selling it to the highest bidder. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. But that's really impressive. Anything above 53% is really good. You can start getting at 55% on a sample of like 300, 400 games. You got something serious. And I know I have something serious with this model. Here's today's suggested picks. Again, it has the White Sox, man. It loves the White Sox in this series. I might actually take it today. I'm not entirely sure. Red Sox, Cardinals over 7.5 could be something. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the Nationals, Brewers under. That seems intriguing to me. No picks on the early games today, but you can't you can't force something that's not there. Here's the starter pitcher regression report for all pitchers. Who's due for some positive regression? We think they're going to have a pretty good game. And who's due for negative? These are the pitchers that we think are going to have not so good of a game today. Team batting, who's due to cool down and who's due to heat up. This is very important when it comes to totals, not just what side you're on. So not just money line but totals are huge for this. If you see two teams in a matchup that are both due for some positive regression, and one of those pitchers, even if it's two of those pitchers, that's a I hate to say this, it might be a hammer. If it's two pitchers due for negative regression and both teams are due for positive regression on the batting side, that might be a hammer on the over. But I didn't say that. I didn't say hammer. People get really excited in the Discord when you say hammer. Bullpen fatigue, add that on there. I'll tell you this, the perfect storm, the tsunami of all plays would be both pitchers, right? You got two teams that are playing a game today. Both pitchers are due for some negative regression, right? They've been getting really lucky the past two starts or so. Their numbers don't equal their true skill, and they're due for some negative regression. We think they're going to give up some runs. They're not going to pitch as well. Then each of those respective teams batting have not been hitting well, but we expect them to be hitting well because of the contact quality, their exit velocity, their barrel rate, maybe their walk rate has been good. They just haven't been producing runs. They've been getting unlucky. Both of those teams are due for positive regression. Both pitchers are due for negative regression. And then the bullpen is overworked. If that happens, man, I'm calling in the ultimate hammer. Like 4 units, 3 or 4 units. I don't do that often. Last time I did a unit that big was a Super Bowl. I don't do that often. So eventually this season we will find something like that. It just hasn't happened yet. So that is what we like today. That's what's on the board. As far as what I'm going to take personally, I do like the Astros today. I like low scoring and Nationals Brewers. Maybe I think we might see a good amount of scoring in the Angels Reds game today. I don't like taking totals on the Reds, but sometimes you got to do it if the signal is there. Yeah. As far as baseball goes, that's what I like.